if you don't understand your own story, what's the point of building a brand?
One thing that everyone has in common in life is the story.
People are gonna stay because they relate to you the most. They don't care how you did it, but why you did it is gonna be the most important thing.
You continue to make impact, you're gonna continue to make income. It's not even about the dollars, all right? Because we're doing it from the bottom of our heart. Hey, what's good, y'all? As y'all can see right now, we getting the event started, set up. We about to show y'all what it's like inside the Boss Up experience. Right now, we in Atlanta, Georgia. We taking over the A, and we giving out information. Today is Friday. We're gonna have that culture mixer panel, all right? So we're gonna be mingling. It's gonna be a mixer. We're gonna have some drinks. We got a bar over there. Check it out, swing it up. We got bar chips going on. We're gonna have a little panel. And then tomorrow, all right, we got the entrepreneurship boot camp with a pitch competition. A lucky business is gonna be winning $1,000, all right? We're gonna take y'all in behind the scenes with us. Just stay tuned. I'm out.
What we about to talk about right now is how content could change your life. And everybody in here is, have a business and is on social media. And everybody that's up here right now is definitely monetizing social media and using social media to every advantage possible in their everyday lives. All right, y'all ready to turn us up? All right, cool. All right, so here we go. What I'm gonna be doing today is coming with some hot questions. And I want y'all to set some real game, all right? Give me some, don't hold back, all right? So first and foremost, my first question is gonna be, what role does storytelling play in creating content on social media?
All right, yeah, that's a really heavy question. But storytelling is the whole point of social media in the first place, is to tell your story. So if you're not telling your story, then that's how you can gravitate toward other people that have like values and like experiences as you as well. On my platform, I help other people tell their story. The reason being is because it allows people to get more exposure, and then when they get more exposure, then I can impact more people passively. And so sharing your story is very important, but the first step to sharing your story is documenting it. And so I recommend everybody in this room to go ahead and document their story so they can understand what they've been through and have those realizations that, look, I've experienced things and I've been able to grow from things, and you're doing other people a disservice by not sharing that message as well. So that's why it really resonated with me.
So for me, storytelling is everything, bro. You really can't operate in life without, as far as building a successful business, you're not gonna be able to build a true successful business without storytelling. If you look at the biggest companies in the world, you gotta understand that storytelling is what defines a brand. When you build in a brand, you build in something that can go the distance, past you, farther than you, after you die. So the thing is, when you got a story, if you're not constantly pushing your story out there, how you gonna find your tribe? How you gonna find those people that end up spending $2,000 with your brand? And then when they come to these events right now and they look at you in your eye, they like, dang, that's the person I keep buying all my stuff from. And it's like, it's a lit experience, but if you don't understand your own story, what's the point of building a brand? Understand your brand, understand self. And then when you do that, you'll be successful no matter what. So yeah.
So basically, when I first got onto YouTube, my first story was pretty much, I took $500, I put it on, I bought a heat press off of Craigslist, and I turned it into $200,000 my first year. But people were like, how'd you do that? I was a stay-at-home dad, and then people related to that. I ain't had nothing else to be able to do. People related to that. Like, I was trying to figure out how to get my life and my financial situation straight. People related to the story. They came for the tutorial, and then they stayed for the story. Like, people are gonna stay because they relate to you the most. They don't care how you did it, but why you did it is gonna be the most important thing. So if you're gonna focus on your why and how you was able to do everything, that's what's gonna make people relate to you, and that's why people are gonna stick to you for the long run.
Yeah, I like that. Hey. All right, so my next question, I need y'all to help me out a little bit. All right, because WRLDINVSN, we got 400,000 followers, right? But my personal page, I only got 3,000 followers. All right, and some of y'all up here, y'all got hundreds of thousands, just like WRLDINVSN. All right, but now I'm entering, this era where I'm like, man, I might need to, beef my personal brand up. So could you tell me, like, what's the benefit of having, a personal brand, and how can you use your personal brand to increase, your business or leverage your personal brand to grow your business?
Yeah, I would say personal branding is, in my opinion, far more important than the brand itself. I love, hey, people be getting mad at me for that one, but I really think that focus should be your personal brand. Reason being is that, again, the story, for one. obviously you guys have the story of the brand, but I think people would even resonate with your own personal stories as well. Secondly, is that one thing that everyone has in common in life is the story too. So we have a brand vision, and we also have our personal life goals as well. And we build the business to actually, that were based off of the things that we experience in our own personal life. And so my main goal is to help people understand their own personal values, and that's gonna allow them to repurpose that online. So that's what I would say.
All right, so here's my take on personal brand.
Talk to me.
When you have a personal brand, you can build anything on any platform, period. The way I built all of my companies simultaneously was because I built a personal brand. I kept telling my story. I'm a young dad. I sell do-rags out the streets. I got it from the beauty supply store. Here's how I do it. Here's how you can support me, blah, 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 right? And I think that because I got it out the mud and because I was the same person out the trunk with it, people was like, oh, he's delivering stuff locally, and I built my personal following off that. Let me go ahead and position myself and my brand like, hey, this is the company that y'all gonna be shopping from. It's no longer a side hustle. So that's why I feel like it's so important to have a personal brand, because it's not about only having a business. If you have a personal brand, you can build businesses across multiple different platforms, multiple social media platforms. And the thing is like I said, you're building something for the long run. So if you don't have a personal brand, your actual brand, you know what I'm saying, is very important, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you have a personal brand, people are gonna resonate with your actual brand even more, because there's a definition to you, and then there's a definition to the brand, but the brand was created by you. So if you understand yourself, and when you create the brand, it's gonna be a lot better impact and like a feeling, right? And that's really what you're creating a brand for, is like that feeling in your heart, right? Like, why am I wearing this clothes? A lot of y'all fly as hell in here, right? But there's a reason that y'all chose that outfit. You may not have thought about it, but subconsciously, you knew exactly what you was gonna wear before you came here. Because of the brand. Because of what it says on the front or the logo. So understand your personal brand is gonna take your other brands a lot farther. And then when those brands take off and they killing it, you can lax on a personal brand. You can go all organic on a personal brand. And that's what we're doing, so.
I probably talk to Tez like once every single quarter. Anytime I see this man, he's giving me gems that like takes me from like 4 figures to 5 figures a month. Like every single time. Your personal brand creates that connection, that network. Anytime you want to collaborate with someone, even if you have a clothing brand, whatever kind of brand that you have outside of just your personal brand is the one that makes the actual connections itself. I can talk to Nick, I can be like, what you doing inside your business? And he can tell me something so small that can increase my business like 10x. I can do the same thing over here, I can do the same thing with Tez. I see him like once every single quarter. He give me one little piece of value, and it gives me everything that I need. I'm not even lying. He laughing about it, but he know it's true. So, you know, your personal brand is the one that makes the connections. Your brand is the one that connects with the audience.
Hey, so which one of y'all gonna help me grow my personal brand? My budget's small, all right? So I ain't got a lot of money for y'all, all right? All right, so this next one, I got a question for everybody that's in the audience. How many of y'all have less than 10,000 followers? Raise your hand if you got less than 10,000 followers. All right, cool. All right, so what is your advice to someone who has less than 10,000 followers? Like, should I be focused on just growing my followers? Or can I still monetize my followers with not even having 10,000? Like, just give me some advice to get to my first 10,000, and also give me some advice to help me make money along my journey to that first 10,000.
Yeah, so getting to that first 10,000 followers is a real grind. Yeah, that is a real grind. And like now, obviously we got the cheat code with short form content, because before you had to grow your page through like shares and things like that, but now you can reach more people organically than ever before. And so I would say growing your brand to 10,000 followers, for one, you have to pick like your niche, what exactly you're gonna be talking about. And we have a lot of different factors about yourself. And what I like to do is write down like the 5 main things that I think that like I actually care about in my life, and then pick one or like 1 to 3 of those things that I'm gonna focus on and the type of content I'm gonna create. After that, I would actually choose a type of form of content that I was going to create. Whether like Tez, he be doing get ready with me's, or I do interviews, right? You can choose a form of content, because once you choose a form, it makes it easier to keep replicating that same process. I think a lot of times it's hard because at the beginning you try to diversify and create a whole bunch of different types of content, but I think it's easier to stick with one type of content first, and you grind that same type of content out till you reach that 10,000.
I like that.
And then you don't need a whole bunch of followers to monetize. Most of the clients I work with have a whole bunch of followers, but they don't really know how to monetize. And just because you have a lot of followers doesn't always equate to a lot of dollars. And so I wouldn't say that followers are the main thing that matters. The main thing that matters is that you're sharing your story and you have an offer or a product that aligns with your story, because you'll make more money that way. So that's what I would say.
Quick question real quick. How many of y'all got less than 10,000 followers again? Raise your hand. Higher?
Put the mic.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So here's my take on it. I'm not the type of person to get on here and be like, yeah, you should just post 2-3 times a day. I'm not that person. I'd rather just give you direct information that's I'm gonna say like, look, you do this repetitively, you will see success. All right. The first thing, like she said, is finding your style of content. For me, I have 3 to 5 different styles of content. Sometimes I might plot my brain down, right? I might just want to give straight value. And the way I think about it is like, there's somebody else out there who follows me or who is about to follow me who needs to be educated on a thing that I may be a pro at. So what are you really, really good at? And even though you may not have the accolades, you may not have, the $1 million plaques and whatever it is, right? The thing you got to keep in mind is that if you're on chapter 5, there's somebody else starting on chapter 1. So guess what? You can cheat somebody who's on chapter 1 about chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5. But people don't give themselves an opportunity because they didn't complete the book, because it don't look the way it should look on social media, right? The next thing that I would say is once you find those 3 to 5 forms of content that really works for you, focus on interaction. One thing that I realized is people do a lot of polls on social media. How many of y'all do polls on your Instagram? Bro, the one thing that I've noticed is that instead of doing polls, if you have people swipe up on your story and respond directly, you'll get a lot more views on your story. The next best way to get to 10,000 followers would be value. Don't sell shit yet. You didn't earn that right yet. You didn't earn them as a follower just yet. You want to build a tribe member, right? And then the next thing that I would say on top of that is when you understand your story, I am telling you, tell your story. It don't matter how beautiful it look or how rough it look. The thing is the interesting thing about all of our stories is that it's yours. And when you own it and you find some ways to get other people to relate to you, it's gonna be 100 times easier for you to gain followers. So post consistently. I know it's cliche. Post consistently. Educate yourself consistently. Have more interactions on your posts. Find those forums that you really, really like. And then stand on business. Keep going. One more thing. Find your pocket. There's this book, I can't remember what it's called, but he basically talks about finding a blue ocean. In a world where everybody is chasing clout and chasing the same exact thing, copying each other over and over and over and over and over, find your blue ocean. Find that one interesting thing about you and keep doing it. And then use those forms of content that you found to keep expressing that. And then just lock in, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I got one more question for us, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But y'all think I'm asking these questions for y'all, but I'm asking for me. I only got 3,000 followers. Golly. Hey, one thing I said that they didn't mention was relationships. I think that you could, I feel like I could grow pretty quick with the relationships that I got. I probably could, my friends might got at least 2 million followers by now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna need y'all to post Superline E. I'm gonna need you to post me. I'm gonna need y'all to post me, all right, so I can get up there. But my last question I would say is, even with us, man, like we put a lot of work into creating content, and we study hard. We do everything that we could do, and sometimes it don't go the way that we want it to go. So what is some things that you learned or some mistakes that you made when investing into making content and it didn't actually go the way that you wanted it to go? What did you learn from that, and what could you share with everybody here?
I would say I used to really attach my growth online, and everything that I wanted was based off of other people and not based off of the action that I was doing. So I wasn't basing off my results based off of how many times I posted or the action that I was committing online. It was like, how many views did I get? But I can't control how many views I get online. And I can't control how many followers I gain. And I remember I kept putting okay, I want to reach 10,000 followers, and that was actually my goal. And every month I would have it as my goal. It would never get crossed off because I can't control how many followers I gain each month. And so instead of doing that, I then said, okay, now I'm gonna post every day. My goal is to post 1 time a day for this month. And I started attaching my goal to my action rather than the result of my action.
I like that.
What I would say is the big lesson that I learned is when you go out and you make content, you're gonna lose yourself. Because there's only certain things that you can say in ways that you can say it that can impact a person the way that you want it to impact a person. And I think what happens is when you start trying to be creative, you start pulling your creativity from what you see. And the problem with that is that's not pure. That's not you. So I think that my biggest lesson is what content can I make that's true to me? And then, you know, for me, it's not, I don't look at it like likes and stuff no more. It's really like, would my past self be proud of the content that I'm making? And, you know, for my past self, there is a person that looks exactly like me, coming from a similar place as me, who been through some stuff maybe worse, maybe better than me. And then I'm thinking like, is this person getting something out of this? And the way I just think about life is like, you only gonna live a certain amount of time, you know what I mean? Like, we all gonna die at some point, right? And to me, it's just like, how can I plant as many seeds across minds as possible, as ideas, as creativity, as perspective-changing things? If I can plant as many seeds as possible and allow you to water it yourself, you always understood where your foundation came from, and you ain't gonna never switch up.
So this is standard that I live by. This is my life mottos. Low expectations, high standards. So if I get 1 view, I'm excited because I was expecting 0. You know what I'm saying? So like, you're gonna expect whatever you expect in life. And then on top of that, it's just pretty much whatever you want out of life. Like, you know, like anytime you post something on social media, you really think that that data is supposed to give you like what you think about yourself, but at the same time, that data is supposed to drive you into like, oh, okay, so this piece of data gave you this much engagement. How can I get better at this specific second? Like, we're so blessed nowadays. Like, anytime we post something on social media, we have data. Like, it's crazy. Like, we know exactly the second that we dropped off. So instead of us getting disappointed by what we posted, we should look at the data and be like, oh, okay, so I said something wrong. And accepting the fact that we did something wrong is gonna take you way further. Instead of saying, be like, oh, nobody likes me. But instead, look at it and be like, I did something wrong. So next time when I post the same piece of content, I'm gonna say something different. And then you're gonna look at it, the next time you're gonna see the data, you're gonna be like, oh, this is data spiked. Or next time, you know what? I'm gonna try something different. And then you can see what the data tells you. We're so blessed nowadays that technology has gave us data, like, so we can do something different every single time we post something.
Yeah, I like that a lot because one thing me and Marlon talk about a lot is, you know, whenever you're experiencing a problem, you need to give an internal answer instead of an external answer. And what I mean by that is, you ask somebody, hey, did you start your brand? They be like, I'm waiting on my cousin, sister, brother to give me the money. That's an external answer. Instead of giving an internal answer of saying like, man, I want to invest, but I'm not sure right now. Whenever you're experiencing any problem, like, look within instead of looking outside, all right? That's one thing I wanted to share. And really just want to give a round of applause. I need y'all to turn us up. Thank y'all so much for giving us this information. Thank y'all for coming and sharing y'all stories with us. And this is my first time hosting, man. I'm really thinking about doing a career change. Y'all like this or what? Yeah! Hey, turn us up one more time. Thank y'all.
Hey, what's good? Hey, we in the heat of it right now. I told y'all we was gonna take y'all, give y'all some access. We just wrapped up the panels. Hey, show what's going on right now. We got everybody in here. It's the culture mixer, all right? Boss Up, Rap Snacks, WRLDINVSN, Activate Your Vision. We're having a great time right now. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, they're showing us mad love. We getting information. We growing these brands. We growing people right now, baby. People. Impact over income, all right? You continue to make impact, you're gonna continue to make income. It's not even about the dollars, all right? Because we're doing it from the bottom of our heart. Keep supporting the brand, appreciate y'all.